You're listening to the Go Lightly Martial Hour on freedomtalkradio.net. freedomtalkradio.net.
Alright, now you can say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Right. We're actually on the air at the right time. And before we continue, today is Friday. It is May the 8th, 2015. From the home of the Christ, Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall. And we live in Tugum, Queensland, Australia. BLGM, the new name of God, has a Gematria of 312, and that's where you will find in the Revelation 3:12 the verse that says, I'll have a new name. That's what it is. Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall. Blugum. Blugum rhymes with Tugum.
Yeah, it does.
All right, now before we go on to weighty matters of what's going on in the universe, this is a boomerang. If you didn't see it the other day, as we played the song, my boomerang won't come back.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
He rang the other day.
Did he? Boomerang, did he? All right, so this is a boomerang. If I throw this, God knows what'll. Actually, he doesn't know what'll happen. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it inside.
Bring down a flying doctor or something.
That's what we could do this afternoon to amuse ourselves.
Bring down a flying doctor.
No, we could go out into the street and throw our plastic boomerang,
yes.
and you could video it. See what really happens. Have you got anything? What have you been looking at this morning?
I've been looking at my GPS, but prior to that, I do have a little film.
Yes.
Something very unusual happened last night, and then something else happened.
Yes.
And then I was woken up to a pump running. Yes. And I'd already gone and switched it off.
Yes.
When we investigated it this morning, we go out to what you did, because I said I did it last night.
I know, I knew you did it because...
Okay, and I told you I did it last night.
Well, I heard it came on, so you went down to
first was,
turn it off.
the doors were rattling.
The doors to our room. Sliding doors.
So I got up and I pushed the doors open. Right?
Yes.
Got back to bed. Then I'm laying there and I'm hit a bloody pump start.
Yes.
So I switched that motor. I went out and did it purposely because it's been playing up.
Yes. Coming on and off.
Coming on and off.
Coming on
when it comes on and off every a minute or two,
yeah.
Well, first off, you're using up electricity. You're pumping water to somewhere, I don't know where. Or it isn't pumping at all. It's just the pressure switch is coming on and off. That's what it seems to be. So,
now
I'd already switched it off.
Now, just to make clear that the pump only comes on because it's pushing rainwater out of our tanks when the toilet's flush or the washing machine is being used. That's all it's for, not for any... And Joel is not in the house. He's already gone, so it's only the two of us. And here it is.
Well, so late last night when we finished, I went out and switched it off because it's been happening for a couple of days. And I said to you last night that I switched the pump off.
Yes.
So when we get up, I said, now you go and check it because it's come on last night. It can't happen, right? So you go out there and sure enough it's switched off. But also the electric hot water heater, big tank, it was switched off. Right? Out in the garage, I've got a tall cupboard with all sorts of miscellaneous tools or whatever in it. And it's about...
well, it's 6 feet tall.
Well, a little bit over.
Taller, actually.
Taller
Yes,
than that.
it's taller, yeah.
It's about 6.5, 7 feet. And on top, I have these cans of spray paint, which I was going to spray the old trailer I got out there with it. Never got around to doing it. So these are all brand new, sitting up there. But one had been taken down from the middle of them, right? It's almost as if it was on the end of something, like a cat had jumped up. Well, there's no cats in the house, right? But I mean, and it was laying on the garage floor because we've taken the Peugeot out, which has suddenly developed an engine leak, which is profuse, right? So we've been trying to fool around with that and fix it. Right. So the garage was empty, the door was down. I went and closed the door late last night, right, and with the light on, of course, and no paint.
It was all as it should have been, yeah.
Which was on the, which you'd never would I go out there and not notice something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that happened. So you go and have a look, and the pump is switched off, and the hot water is switched off. So this morning I hear this tremendous thump. Right, that's it. And I get up and it is a flock of white sulphur
crested
headed cockatoos. Beautiful bird, worth about 20 grand a piece in America. Right? So it stars me out and all those things. But of course they're forbidden to be sold and exported. But there was 24 sitting on the fence. And I've got a film of that, which I'll now put the camera down, and you can look at it yourself.
Alright, I'll come around and look at it because I haven't seen it yet.
Alrighty, let's get this over in the right position. That's about it. Okay, so let's give it a boiled more. Make it work. Should be on there. There's a thing for it. What happened? I like these computers, all modern stuff, you know, like all of a sudden a bloody mouse now.
There it is, there it is. Ah.
Now, these are one of the smartest birds you can find anyway. Very, very humorous bird. The things they do, just interacting with each other. They do all sorts of funny things. And they're a lovely bird. And they live about 100 years. So they're a centurion bird. So there was 24 sitting on the fence and about 24 next door. And I think I'll pull back on this film and show you some of them sitting on the house next door. Now, the house has got a white roof, and so does our house. So they may come around because it was white, but they are the wonderful, wonderful bird. Very well, very good talking bird, and I've had a wife that wasn't as intelligent as some of this stuff. So anyhow, I counted 24, and that's a significant number, of course. Now what they have a tendency to do, these little creatures, if you've got anything that's made of timber, they tend to sit on it like a nice rail, something like around your veranda. They'll sit on it and eat it, just tear it to bits. They don't eat it, rather, they just tear it up. Just for fun.
Yes, when I lived in my mother's apartment in Balmain, a new building, they would sit on the top of the buildings, an edge that was actually styrofoam. It was styrofoam with a render over it to make it look like a, solid concrete render. In fact, it was styrofoam then. It would destroy it.
So they're certainly a lovely bird. They make a lovely pet, very loyal, and the old saying is, you open a cage and if If they go away, well, you just hunt up and kill them. But
all over the house as well.
Was that in the Revelation about the fowls of the air? Supper of our
referring
great
to
God?
angels, actually. Now, this is the house next door. See how it's all white? The roof is white, and you see some birds sitting up on the edge there somewhere. There you go.
Sitting on the side of the house.
But they're all down on the, you see one jump up then, they're actually down on the ground in the next door. So if I was to walk out, of course they'd tear you to pieces, right? Very savage. They like little people in particular.
Some birds live underuse and they're extremely intelligent.
Yeah, I couldn't get you to go out there, could I? So.
Very humorous thing they do. They play all the time.
Yeah, they play all the time. But they're a bit buggered at the moment. They've been playing all night, obviously. Otherwise, it'd be all playing.
Open the door, they're all going to scatter, so I can't do that.
But when you see a lot of them together and they come flying in, sometimes they come in the hundreds. I've seen that down in where I was living down in New South Wales years ago. And I had a German Shepherd dog, and the pink galah, which is slightly smaller, they would fly in 1,000 at a time and sit on the grass, and the dog would just sit there and look at them. Wasn't going to move, right?
Wow.
You see them on the house
You're still up there.
These, when they land on the house, because it's a tin roof, called corrugated iron here in Australia, when they land on it, the noise they make, it's like an earthquake.
Yeah, that's what woke me this morning. When they landed,
Yes, the sun.
they landed right above us on our roof, right?
Yes.
And I tell you what, the noise. Because they'll just flop on it and then just slide down because they can't grab hold of it. Right? But they might have 20 or 30 land at the same time. So. And they're quite a big bird.
You'll see that the hand railings here are
Just,
maybe.
so people use these aluminium railing now. They used to use timber, but that's a timber fence here. One they haven't, so they're eating it now. Mind you, probably turn the camera around to the right and said the other house next door had been devastated. Alright, so there's the... they call me a great galah, don't they?
Yeah, well, I've got my yellow framed glasses on with my gold coloured hair with the sulphur crested cockatoo. Look, Ross, and I'm very glad that Ross and Rodney are over in the chat room. After having got used to having you guys in the chat room, it's like talking to an empty. I don't see anybody there lately. And anyway, talking to the world is like talking to an empty at times anyway, but glad to hear you guys. Now, did you have anything else at the moment that you wanted to... I wanted to read that.
Now, I would read that because it's very interesting.
Yes.
What it indicates is how the lovely... I love this, people. How the influence on the Catholic Church started a very, 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 very long time ago.
Yes,
That's what I've been saying all along. It's been taken over and consumed.
Well, it was taken over from Paul, consumed. With Paul, the self-appointed apostle. Apostle, the devil. Yes, 500 years ago, 1515, and I'm pretty sure it was Adam Yates, thank you again, sent this around Facebook as a find. Perhaps he got it from somebody else, but anyway, I thought I'd read it because it is reflected today, apparently...
I don't want you to get the wrong idea about the chosen people.
It's reflected today in Francis. Apparently he is related to the family, the Medicis, down through the line. Anyway, here we go. This is it's called On the Contrary. Now, I would have to say that this author, Michael Hoffman, perhaps somebody from the UK, the group, he should be notified that Christ is back and announced. He'll probably reject it.
He wouldn't believe it?
He wouldn't believe it, but let him know. Send him the apostolic letter and tell him that the only good thing, if you like, and the sole purpose for the life of Pope Benedict XVI, because he is the resurrected Peter, then was to announce once more, "Thou art the Christ."
And
loving it. All right, here we go. On May the 4th, 1515. This is called The Reign of the Loan Sharks Begin. 500 years ago, the Pope of Rome made possible the beginning of the rule of the money power over the West. And some of these dudes were so ugly. Here's Medici Pope Leo X. The article says on May the 4th, 1515, so it was the 500-year anniversary, a few days ago, 4 days ago, the 500th anniversary of which was this month, Medici Pope Leo X, in brackets, Giovanni de Lorenzo de Medici.
They are all related in those days. The Medici family, they put their relatives in as popes.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
That's how it worked.
Yeah.
There's no... Well, they're doing the same thing today. I mean, all these things are set up. There's no such thing as a clear, outright, honest conflict.
No, in the conclave,
In those
it's all
days,
rigged.
that's right, you're in, son.
They're rigged. And
There was even a Pope Joan, and had a baby, and that's how she got found out.
Right, well, in the book that was
Gave birth
written
in a procession.
and published
I
towards
think
the end
they
of
stoned her
last
to
year.
death or something.
Yeah.
Look it up, Pope Joan.
Francis was lobbied by some of the cardinals, so there's no such thing as a true conclave. Anyway, all right. Starting again on May the 4th, 1515, 500th anniversary of which was this month, Medici Pope Leo X issued a papal bull permitting interest on loans of money if the loans were to the poor.
And there's an obstacle.
Now there's how it... Oh. Need we say any more?
You can loan to the rich, that's okay, no interest, but to the poor,
You extract...
I'll
the
guarantee
interest.
you, because you haven't read it to me yet, I'll guarantee that the poor didn't get the money.
Well, of course not, they never do. This revolutionary permission was granted for so-called charity banks, which were known as Monte di Pieta, which translates as Mountains of Compassion. But quite a bit of the revenue ended up in the hands of the Medici bankers. Da-dum! Not the poor. And even if these usury banks had been operated for the alleged benefit of the indigent alone, they were violating God's law and creating a precedent for more usury. Are we surprised by anything so far?
When they say God's law, they're talking Lucifer's law.
Yes.
This all goes back to Babylonian stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where it was forbidden to lend your brother on usury, but to the Gentiles you can lend. So they made all of the 12 tribes of Israel, they become the Gentiles, and then the lovely people, though, I must admit, they became the chosen ones.
The swedge.
The swedges. But then they could lend money on interest to the non-Jew.
Yeah. The Goy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pope Leo X initiated a process of gradualism whereby the Church's immemorial dogmatic law against the charging of interest, which came from Jesus. I mean, that was one of his teachings. You don't charge interest on money. It's usury.
What does Shakespeare say then? Never a lender or a borrower be.
That's right. Immemorial dogmatic law against the charging of interest on loans of money was incrementally relaxed and diluted, leading to a papal revolution, the complete abolition of all ecclesiastical penalties for usury by Pope Pius VIII in his revolutionary bull of August the 18th, 1830.
He had it written out a big sheet, you know. All these laws. Because it's the papal bull, they call it a bull sheet. Yeah, that's how the name came about.
Well, this was called datum in audentia, as well as the absence of all such penalties in the 1917 and 1983 codes of canon law. The thesis of this writer's book, Usury in Christendom, the mortal sin that was and now is not, is that the Renaissance Roman Church parted ways with the Church of all time. It trafficked in fake relics and indulgences as supervised by the fugger, that's spelled F-U-G-G-E-R and rhymes with bugger, which is, what is...
Buggery is animal with sex.
Ugh.
No.
Sex
with
with
animal.
Oh, right, okay. Fugger bankers of Augsburg. The Fuggers, with the support of the Habsburgs, were far wealthier than...
I'm related to the bloody Habsburgs.
Oh,
Just be
totally.
careful what you say
Okay,
here.
yeah. Were far wealthier than any single Italian banking dynasty, including the Medici. Did you ever even hear of the Fuggers? Did you know that grievances over their operations were a motive for Martin Luther's rebellion?
Absolutely.
The
But see, he was
Fuggers...
a lunatic too, that's the whole point.
Yes, yeah. The Fuggers controlled the transfer of revenues from the German church to the papacy. Their loans to the Pope brought them a portfolio of revenue collecting privileges, including from the sale of indulgences. Man alive.
Well, explain what an indulgence is.
Well, an indulgence is like a fee you can pay to get one of your relatives out of hell, wasn't it? Or
No.
purgatory or something like that.
What they did was you go.
Oh, right.
So
So,
look, I got a few dollars.
oh, so
Got a
hey,
few
hey,
shackles. So
Right.
I
If I
buy
pay
myself
this-
guaranteed to get into heaven. You know, worries. That's going
Right.
to cost you $3,500.
right. So this
Right?
is
Put
this,
money in the plate and see you later.
this
and
is-
I give you an indulgence.
right. This is
out
the
there.
continued
And
insanity
that got you straight into heaven when you died. No matter what you did, you
Yeah.
were completely exonerated.
So
from all
this
sin.
replaces the blood sacrifice of
Well,
an animal,
yeah.
blots out the sin. So now
Well,
you
if
pay the
you
money.
meet a Jewish person and you get money out of them, it's like getting blood out of the stone, right? So it is similar.
All right.
Martin Luther, what a lunatic he was. He used to sleep in the snow. Right, naked. Why? Why would he do that?
It brought him closer to God,
Yeah.
like the insanity of the
Suffering.
Jesuits, the suffering. Oh God. Okay, here we go. In 1519, the Fuggers.
Well, with that's where the term hard-on came from. Martin Luther.
What?
It's frozen solid, right?
Oh.
Look, I'm just telling you the facts, right? I don't care if it's a bit rude. That's fine.
All right. In 1519, the Fuggers bought the election of Spain's Charles V as Holy Roman Emperor. Of the 851,000 Rhenish florins, that's spelled R-H-E-N-I-S-H, florins, raised to purchase the office for King Charles, the Fuggers contributed 543,000 florins. They were usury bankers to the popes and to the House of Habsburg. In September 1514, 8 months before Leo X's relaxation of the usury ban, Papist theologian Johannes Eck of Ingolstadt, Luther's nemesis, served as the corrupt mascot for the money power, as personified by the banker Jacob Fugger. Eck argued in a debate at the Carmelite monastery in Augsburg that loan contracts at 5% interest were justified. Whoa. Carmelite.
Just to straighten out my ancestry, the Habsburgs become the Harrison. They left in 847 Europe. They got out of there. Because these are the good ones, right?
They left. See the way.
The royal line left. And therefore the rabble took over. So they've been infiltrated by the Jews, of course. And they ended up getting into England. And they changed the name to Harrison, Harrison. That was 847.
Right.
That goes down to my grandma.
Continuing with this.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that Medici Pope Leo X issued his papal bull entitled Inter Multiplicis, allowing for the interest charging Montes Pietatis the very next year? These sound like diseases, don't they? Which in fact usury is. Yes. The pontiff anticipated the unpopularity of his bull and therefore threatened to excommunicate every Catholic who spoke against his gradualist overthrow of the magisterial dogma by his relaxation in the name of charity, of the immemorial proscription against all interest on loans of money. So of course the Christ takes over and it'll all be reversed. We're printing the money. Apologists for Leo X put forth a loophole for his exoneration. They quibble that he did not actually change the dogma on usury, just the pastoral application of the dogma. Now, is this not Francis today who craps on about the pastoral application of all of the bullshits that he writes and espouses about?
Lovely man, just...
Oh, anyway. Yes, that's true. And it was precisely these pastoral means which were employed gradually over the centuries from May the 4th, 1515 onward to transform usury from a mortal sin to no sin at all. Now, of course, it's been 500 years on May the 4th. 500 is Antichrist. Continuing, this pastoral technique for nullification of the law of God should be familiar to all students of the devious tactics of revolutionary change agents, among whom the most notable contemporary example is the current pontiff, Pope Francis.
Lovely man.
The spiritual heir of Giovanni di Lorenzo de' Medici. Adherents of the Church of Rome often scapegoat Protestant leader John Calvin for being the first to initiate the usury plague. Calvin was not yet 6 years old when Pope Leo X issued Inter Multiplicis. No pope after Leo X restored the true Catholic Church's immutable dogma. Every subsequent pope either did nothing or extended the incremental permissions. Toothless anti-usury bombast from Leo XIII and other popes served to camouflage the devious gradualist process at work. Benedict XIV's masterpiece of dissimulation, Vix Pervenit, advertised as a monumental anti-usury Jeremiad, contains a sly loophole for the continuation of usurious operations. Catholic usury banks continued to flourish in the wake of Vix Pervenit. The cryptocracy uses similar tactics in different situations. If we study the methods and double talk by which Thomas Cromwell and Thomas Cranmer began to dissolve Catholicism in England in the 1530s, we will observe the methods and double talk by which every pope from Leo X to Pius VIII and onward dissolved Almighty God's bulwark against the money power. And he says to read Luke 6:34-36. Do you want to open that up, babe?
Huh?
Luke 6.
Well, I'm asleep, huh?
34 and 36. On May the 4th, 1515, situation ethics began its reign over Rome. After 500 years, it is time to face the truth about the Renaissance.
Luke 34?
Yeah, Luke 6, verse 34.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners, to receive as much again.
Continue.
Oh, is it?
34, 35 and 36.
Oh, right. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind unto the unthankful, and to the evil. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Not the fucking Jews. As it says right there. Code.
And the Gematria, if I'm not the fucking Jews.
Lovely people. I'm just joking, Jewish people out there. Just joking. I know you are the chosen ones. Lovely, lovely people there.
Chosen by their God, Lucifer. Capital L.
Well, I am the son of Christ, am I? No, the son of Lucifer. Christ is the son of Lucifer. Francis himself said so. Got to take the word for a man that is related to the...
Oh, well, he said the spiritual
to the
heir. Well, anyway. He said he's the spiritual heir. That's a different thing. Anyway. But somewhere along the line is... Anyway, on May the 4th. All right, let's get to the end of this.
My daughter's birthday, please.
May the 4th, your daughter's birthday.
Have a couple of seconds silence. That's enough.
1515, situation ethics began its reign over Rome. After 500 years, it's time to face the truth about the Renaissance papacy and its successors. To fail to do so, blah, blah, blah. The money power marginalised. Okay, God's law and his church remain occluded and marginalised, while the money power's most devastatingly effective tool continues to destroy the abundant life that is our heritage as heirs of Jesus Christ. The love of money is the root of all evil. Now, they've even taken, it's not the love of money, it's money.
Yeah, so just
money is the root of all.
Address,
money is the root of all evil. It's the Protestants that spiritualize it all the time. It's not the love of money, it's money. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Money. Point blank.
Money.
Like, I mean, put a bullet through your head and expect to go to heaven. You're in the heavenly realm that used to exist, but no longer because God is on the earth, so heaven comes to the earth.
Well, there is a few ATM machines up there now.
Yeah,
There is a Jewish section.
Are there any ATMs in...
There's a Jewish section. There's a Jewish section.
Oh my gosh. Usury is the weaponization of that love. And he's referring to the love of money. Usury is the weaponization of money. Not the love of money. I mean, I don't know how many people in my years in the church, use this addition, the love of money. It's money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
And they put it in, it's the love of money. I don't love money. It's just a tool. Bullshit. You've got mountains of it.
Like those pair of wankers we seen up on the hill there, that $1 million house or more. Beautiful view over the ocean. I went there, was going to buy, they had a garage sale. Remember those?
Oh, those, yes. They crap
and the
on
husband
that.
comes back and she says, this fellow says, here's Jesus,
Total.
Well, I didn't say that at all. I said, cry.
Yeah.
Of course, he almost burst into hysterical laughter, right?
Yeah, right.
Did I mention something about the love of money?
No.
Sure.
Money is the root of all evil.
I did mention something about Lord, look we are doing in your name.
Absolutely.
I think I mentioned that to them.
These are all the Protestants.
Absolutely.
And all those following Paul, the
Any
teachers of
religious
Paul.
lunatic. Awesome.
Anyway, let's get to this. Usury is the weaponization of that love. So says this article. All subsequent evils which have beset us emanate from this greatest of all iniquities. Here endeth the bullshit, continuing, because this man, as right on as he might be in his research, would test. Somebody test, please. Somebody from the UK. Adam or Scylla, tell the guy. Send him the apostolic letter. And of course his reaction will be, well, it came from a pope, as in Benedict, then it'll be total rejection from the beginning. So Hoffman is the editor of the journal Revisionist History, published 6 times a year. He is currently at work on his eighth book, The Occult Renaissance Church of Rome. Anyway, and there he is. Blue eyes, will he get it? Unlikely. Okay, so that's all I've got to say today. Oh, Adam, you are here. Oh, look, Adam, whose face is that on the Mona Lisa? He changed his icon from Baphomet yesterday. It was pretty horrible to look at. What are you saying? Oh, here we go. 5 minutes ago. Okay, so the time span of Brian's film. So we're talking about the big one, the upload that we've just uploaded.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the epic. Look, I'll tell you that this one, I've asked Pierre. Pierre is working on it to weave his Shroud videos through that's already up there. So think of it as the place to start, and let's see what Pierre comes up with as he weaves through the slides and things with his marvellous work. It was Gabe that was responsible for the first bit. He just did 3 minutes some time ago, which was awesome. Let's see what Pierre comes with as he reworks the... So the time span of Brian's film, 2 hours, 42 minutes, 48.17 seconds. English Gematria, 2638, Strong's Greek definition. A, I seize, tight hold of, arrest, catch, capture, appropriate. B, I overtake. C, mid, AOR, I perceived, comprehended. Hebrew 2368, chaser, needy, lacking, in want of 2639, chaser, want, poverty. Hebrew, well, these are all the rich dudes. 2637, chaser, to lack, need, be lacking, decrease. So what we're talking about, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man.
That is why when you go to Utah,
They have they
have these gigantic silvery things with a big hole on top. They're giant needles.
Right.
Right? And they've got a camel springing up, going straight through it.
Oh, gosh.
Easy to put a woman through a live needle.
So here at his back, he's having his usual rant about the swedge and wood chippers, yeah. Swedge equals wood chippers. Jews are the money changers. All right, okay. That's it. That's it for me. We could end the show today.
No, you can't.
Oh, why? What else is there?
Well, you've always got something you can come up with.
Oh, well, oh, I know.
See?
Well, the painting behind me, I ignored it yesterday. Pyramids. Look, I've got 4 of them sitting here. These were made by Mario while he was in China. There's 4 of them. These are marvelous.
Man sent it over. It's got the little coils it's supposed to.
Yes, these are the to deflect microwaves and absorb and
something like that.
I forget what they're called. Is it something to do with organ blasters or whatever? But yes, Mario made these, and they are marvelous. So they're sitting here beside the computers. But I thought we'd make a special mention. Now this is the way it works. Yesterday I hung this up. This was I painted after I found Yar, and to me it's a stylized in my mind the pyramids, the 3 pyramids. But the Great Pyramid, of course, is the altar to the Lord in the midst of Egypt. Isaiah 19 verses 19 and 20. So. And then if you turn it upside down, it actually looks like a bunch of spaceships. But anyway, no, it's the pyramids. It's stylized pyramids. And we, of course, visited the pyramids.
Well, you did that before you met me.
No, this one was after.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was straight after I found you. And then, of course, learning all about the pyramids, this came out. But in 2013, of course, we spent 10 weeks in Egypt, and the purpose for going there was to go to the Great Pyramid. And on October the 11th in 2013, Yah climbed into the king's coffer, made that epic journey, having the heart attacks that he did, all caught on film, because I'm behind him with the video camera. Today, I was thinking about what shirt to put on because I was feeling hot. I couldn't wear that shirt that I had on this morning because it was too hot.
You're always hot, baby.
Yeah, no. So I go into the closet and I think, I'll put on this, because this shirt. This is the one that Yah wore as he climbed into the king's coffer. But we've archived the shirt because it is totally threadbare, and it was a result. A lot of it, I mean, most of it was wear, but a lot of it was the result.
That was because I was sitting on the.
That's right.
The descending passage when I'm climbing it, because I'm so big.
That's right.
I was scraping on the roof.
Yeah.
Or the ceiling,
and look,
the top part of the passage. And then leaning on the walls, because I kept on falling over with a heart attack, right? I wasn't real happy.
No, it wasn't real happy at all. Now, so I've just shown you all the tears. Well, here's another one. It was ripped by the time he came out, and the jeans he was wearing was ripped right on the left butt, I think it was. That's why he's wearing the scarf.
That's right.
The scarf. This was stitched when we sent it to the laundry in Egypt. They mended this rip. This was completely ripped right down, and you can see again it's starting to go. So it's got lots of ventilation. It's nice and cool. It does. It's nice and cool. But I realised when I came down, in my mind as I paint, this is all about the pyramids, and I put the shirt on. So anyway, just one of those things.
It would have been more impressive had you done that before you met me.
No. I don't think so. It was because it was in my mind, the pyramids, and this is what came out. So, and as I say, if you turn it upside down, it looks like spaceships. Oh dear. All right, what are the guys saying? Rodney, Rodney's got a link there. Oh, okay, so that's the link to Heiko's marvellous composition, Christ is Back, made in, what, about 2009, 2010?
Yeah, well, he fell off the perch too.
Oh, he did. He was, you know, I don't know, just, some people are just, they just don't get it, do they?
I don't want it. It's all to do with quality. You can get all sorts of people that will follow you, and are they quality? Well, this is the problem. My followers, very few in number, but they're quality.
Yes.
So I've got to execute one of them now and then.
Make an example of them. Don't even go there. Oh my gosh, some of the things we've been through. But anyway, so you guys are few and far between. Well, you only had 12 the first time.
Well, that's right, man. They all fucked off when I got home.
When things got
when I got too up, that's gone wrong. Sorry about that, Lord.
Or fell asleep, ran away, or fell asleep.
Pack the shits. The ones we have today, they're not like that.
No, they've been through the thick and thin.
Yeah.
Thinking about the trials that each of them have been through since they have found you.
Yeah. Stories of some
alive.
people have had, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's poor old Michael over there going through it in Canada.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's, you know, what a lovely man he is too.
And the work he's done, however.
What his wife's done to him is just unreal.
All right.
5 kids.
Yes.
Now he's lost a lot.
Yeah.
Because of some influence that she's had on by some other woman.
Well, it seems like the church he was going to. He started going to a church. Hello?
Yeah,
what was the first thing?
The church did it, yeah.
What was the first thing that anybody connected with the church is going to say to somebody who says, "Well, the Christ is back"?
Leave. That's the first thing you should do when you go to church.
That's a cult. Blah blah. I mean, we'd have to be a cult, cultes worship. Now, what is it that our followers have learned? Should anybody even think about kissing your feet, which happened? Play feet.
No.
Ended up on the other side of the room. Get out of here. Don't do that. It makes my skin crawl.
Oh. Unreal.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What else have we got today? I'm struggling here, guys. Is there anything?
Well, you're doing all right.
In the chat room?
You've got lots to talk about. You always do. You come back. You give you a couple of seconds to get your breath.
To recover. Yeah.
So what happened in Egypt? You got a phone call or you got a Skype message the other day from a young fellow that was Osman's boy.
No, we didn't get a call at all. It was just a message.
You got?
A Facebook message, yeah.
Yes. Now, I have said when I was over there, which can get you shot, that Assisi, the man that's in the president, who was the general,
yes,
who took over, that he was a Mossad agent. Well, if you was found out to be a Mossad agent in any of these countries,
yes,
they will hang you. And I'm going around saying that he's a Mossad agent.
Yes, we did. We told all kinds of people that he was Mossad, and nobody believed, of course.
I don't believe it. I think he's lovely. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
So Christ comes back and everyone thinks he's an asshole. But you'll see the ones that are the assholes are the ones that are all loved. Let's go through a few of them. Francis. Right?
Worshipped.
Obama. Right? Prince William. Prince Charles.
Yes.
Duke of Edinburgh. The Queen. You say something against the Queen and walking down Piccadilly and see what happened last time, yeah. That's if they can get some of the rocks out of the bloody roadway. Right. But they're all lovely, lovely, well-to-do people, and they wouldn't be my queen, do they? Eat babies' heads? Who knew? So that's what it's all about. So.
Okay. So I'm just going back over the message that Saeed sent I asked him. He just said hi on the 14th of April. I said, "Hi, Saeed. What is happening in Egypt under El Sisi?" He says, "All is okay." Then he says, "How are you? And how is Daddy?" Which is Abba, Daddy. "Where are you now?" I said, "We're in Australia. Have been in India for March, and then we are going to New Zealand soon." He says, "God save you." I ask him, "Is the tourism better now in Egypt?" He says, "No, it's came law and law."
So, what have they done? See, the flag of Israel, which is owned by the Rothschilds, they have a band top and bottom. That means the Euphrates to the Nile.
Yes. Everything in between belongs to...
Everything in between is theirs.
Yes.
That's what their idea is. So, what do? For generations, they get people set up until...
Yeah.
You get a man like Assisi. His mother was a Mossad agent. His uncle was a Mossad agent. She married a Mossad agent. She was a Jew out of Morocco. That's how they do it. They set it all up. And because the people are too dumb, they don't have the communication skills, they don't have the intelligence, they don't have the learning. And, of course, anyone who does, they just round them up and shoot them.
Yes.
They don't actually have to do it in public. They just round you up and you disappear. Right? Got a big desert there, dig a hole, you're gone. Right? I was expecting them to have a go at us, right? I was hoping for it.
Well, when they found out that who we were talking to and all they immediately became fearful for us and started telling us about the 777? That group?
Yeah, well now there's a group. These are like the crack execution squad from the life of crime. There's 777 members. They're like the SS in Germany, the Secret Service in America, MI6 or whatever it is, the special forces they have that go in and bomb squads, all this kind of stuff. Well, these people, there was a plane hijack. So they're very clever, these guys. They put a bomb on top of the plane, blew a hole in it and jumped in to get the... They killed 83 people
yes,
that were held hostage.
Yeah, that's right.
When they got in there, machine guns, and just to get two of the hijackers.
Yeah.
That's the kind of idiots they are. And we met one of them. Remember?
Yes.
We went around.
Here it is. I'll read about it. Unit 77. This is what people... When we were in Hurghada and they found out that we'd had communication with El Sisi through the dude in Luxor who took our information to the general, etc. Unit 777. This is what they said. Look, they'll send these people after you. Also known as
bring it on.
Task Force 777 is an Egyptian military counter-terrorism and special operations unit created in 1978 by the government of Anwar Sadat in response to concerns of increased terrorist...
good, didn't it?
Yeah, totally. Increased terrorist activity following the expulsion of Soviet military advisors from the country by Sadat and his efforts to achieve peace with Israel. Of course, it's been Israel all along that's been the terrorists. So here we go. So it was created in 1978. Egyptian Army Special Forces were dispatched to Larnaca International Airport, Larnaca, Cyprus, in response to the hijacking of a Cyprus Air passenger aircraft by operatives of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. The operation was organised hastily and Egyptian authorities failed to notify Cyprus of the arrival of the unit. Oh, great. As the Egyptian commandos approached the plane on the tarmac, they were mistaken by the Cyprus security forces as terrorist reinforcements. Cypriot security forces opened fire on the approaching Egyptian SF members who were without nearby cover. The firefight cost the lives of 15 of the 79 members of the Egyptian commando force sent. However, there were no reported Cypriot fatalities. The aftermath of the failed incident and the need of a professional counter-terrorism unit in Egypt resulted in the creation of Unit 777. Now, this is what happened with the Egypt Air Flight 321. On August the 23rd, 1976, 3 armed terrorists claimed to be from the Abd al-Nasser movement hijacked the Egyptian Cairo Luxor flight and asked the pilot to land in Tripoli. One of the 3 hijackers was a 21-year-old Palestinian, Mohammed Naguid, who was working in Kuwait. They demanded the release of 5 Libyans imprisoned in Cairo in connection with 2 assassination attempts. The context was the deterioration of relations between Egypt and Libya after the Yom Kippur War due to Libyan opposition to Sadat's peace policy. There had been a breakdown in unification talks between the 2 governments, which subsequently led to the Libyan-Egyptian War. 15 minutes after takeoff from Cairo International Airport, an Italian pilot called the airport to report that he had received a beam aerial from the Egyptian aircraft heading to Luxor, that it had been hijacked and the flight was under terrorist control. President Sadat ordered the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defence to make the necessary decisions to protect the passengers and arrest the terrorists. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Defence quickly flew to Luxor International Airport, where they started a secret meeting in the airport's tower, while Major General Abdul Hafiz al-Baghori, governor of Kenna, started negotiations with the 3 terrorists in order to gain time. In a call between the cockpit and the airport, the pilot complained about a problem in the aircraft, that it hadn't shown that the aircraft needed refueling and that the aircraft needed maintenance. The terrorists were persuaded to allow the aircraft to land in Luxor for refueling. Negotiations continued until 3 p.m. when the governor told the terrorists that engineers were ready. The engineers were 2 disguised Saka officers who went inside and outside the aircraft several times in order to appear to be maintenance workers. Minutes later, 3 officers stormed the aircraft and captured the hijackers. The force that stormed the aircraft was later announced to be a special unit within the Saka force, and further information was classified. The same force which was later named 777. So, alright, so this is how it came into being. But later, here we go. This is it's called Op Malta. So this is in 1985, 7 years after the formation of Task Force 777, or the renaming of. So in 1985, Task Force 777 was dispatched again to deal with a hijacking, this time to Malta. An Egypt Air Boeing 737, it was flight 648, had landed in Lucca Airport under the control of Abu Nidal faction terrorists, purportedly as retaliation for Egypt's failure to protect the terrorists that had hijacked the MS Achille Lauro earlier that year.
It's a ship?
Yes. Several hostages were released, 11 persons, and at least 1 Israeli woman was executed. Although the operation was planned more carefully this time, the Task Force 777 operators committed several mistakes that would eventually prove fatal to many of the hostages, as explosives were detonated to attempt to blow a hole on the top of the airframe. The explosion ripped through the cabin area, immediately killing 20 passengers. Using the same hole, the operators gained entry to the plane, but in the confusion opened fire indiscriminately and killed and injured more passengers. In the ensuing chaos, passengers that managed to flee the plane were then gunned down by snipers in positions around the airport who mistook them for terrorists attempting to escape. The total number of passengers killed was 57 out of 88. Hello. So as these dudes were saying to us, you know, we're concerned for your life, they'll set the 777 after you, and then reading about all of this, I thought I could eat the 777 just by standing there, laughing in their general direction, and then begin preaching.
Yeah. Lunatics.
Totally.
Well, Sadat set it up, and the first thing happened, he got shot.
He was out of there.
And why Sadat?
Anyway, there's more. That's the 777. So, Egypt today under El Sisi, according to Syed, who lives right there at the
He believed
pyramids.
in us.
Yes, he did. He loved us. He was very sorry to see
He
us
was
go.
stunned by what we told him.
That's right. He took us to meet his friend who had the well,
That's
the
right.
underground well, the water.
Jacob's well.
Jacob's well, we called it. Absolutely. So, no, he says no, just no, it's came law and law. And from what I can figure, Saeed is married. Looking at his photographs, it seems like he married at some point in time last year. And Adam has sent more links, none of which can be accessed from here, but when we're out of the Spreaker, it will be left in the comments, and perhaps we'll be able to. Alright, with that, we are out of time.
Thought you had nothing to say.
I didn't. True. Nothing planned. Nothing is ever planned in this show. It really is a go with the flow show.
Now, just as a slight comment, on the 28th of September coming up with the blood moon online, we've got Mars almost lined up with Regulus in Leo. We've got Jupiter in Leo. We've got Venus in Leo,
Wow.
which was the Star of Bethlehem,
Yes.
June the 17th, 2 BC. So we can have a look at that tomorrow, and we can put the camera on it. Well, I can do it now, but there it is there. Zoom in a little bit.
Here it says, love you guys.
Now what we can do here, ladies and gentlemen, all this is left ability, is go back, whatever you like, say 40 days will do, and plot it. So we'll then see, when we animate the screen, what we do is you come in at about 10-minute intervals, because your planet's moving around. I'll do a fast animation, not the moon. We don't know the moon at this point. And let's just load, hold on. Yes. Animates. We'll do it 1 day, 0.01. That's about. We'll do it 1 hour to see what we get. Fast animation. No. There we go. That's what you're seeing over the screen here. It's a very, very unusual. You see, we've shot through up to the 16th. That's what's going to be happening in the next year. You see how the red planet is going back and forwards, and you've got, this is Jupiter, Saturn. Here comes Venus shooting through. There's Mercury, the messenger. There's Jupiter. Well, that's going back and forwards all over the place. These are called retrogrades. From the Earth's perspective, these planets appear to be going backwards because of our own orbit that causes that. But you can see that big loop there. You'll often see a retrograde happen, and there's one happening there, right? That's a retrograde motion. And it's very, very pretty when you do it over time. So we'll look at that a bit more tomorrow, and I'll show you the... Oh,
You keep saying that.
well, I'll give you the Star of Bethlehem. It doesn't matter where you are. the date is
So that's my birthday.
June the... Huh?
That's my birthday.
What?
Well, you've got August the 19th, 2015.
Listen, don't distract me. 2 BC. Okay, so we plot to overhead. This is near enough, right?
Mm.
And we'll see those two there. Find Jupiter, for example. We'll get that in the middle. Right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll go back 30 days, and then you'll see what the Magi seen when they were hiking across on their camels, which won't... And they wouldn't fit through an iron needle. They had a big needle with them.
No.
They wouldn't. They tried it.
You've got to think about camels, haven't you? You're never going to be on one again.
And there's the Pope's birthday, but not in 2 BC.
No, it's
Well,
not
my
Pope's
grandmother's birthday,
Your
sorry.
grandmother's birthday.
So we'll see. I'll just animate this. Point...
Oh, you're talking about John Paul II. His birthday, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want the moon. So there we go. So there it is. It's the 17th of June 2 BC. The two line up in the belly of Leo. The point being, what I'm bringing to your attention, that in September you're going to have the exact same position of Jupiter. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen, of 888 minutes
Right.
of Jupiter.
Jupiter.
And you see here, well, I'll just let it go on. There you see retrograde motions, and we're going up to, there's the 8th month, August, the 25th is what I'm looking at here, and you've got Venus lined up with Jupiter, with a secondary Star of Bethlehem, but with Mars and with Mercury. Now, it's a very, very rare event because Mercury moves so fast in relationship to the rest of the 88-day, a little bit over 88-day orbit around the Sun. So it's predicting August the 24th. Right. So as time has no basis on whether it's then or now or past or present or future, right? Mm-hmm. We're looking at Nibiru. Now, when's Nibiru coming in? It's coming around August. Right, so we'll be
there's speculate August, September.
We'll be in
some are saying
New Zealand.
2016.
Now, it's a good place for assassinations, David Goddess, because anyone who is an astronomer in the lower section of the Earth, being the southern hemisphere in particular, down the Invercargill and those places, you get a very good view of anything that's just happened to be zooming up into position, because with the movement of the Milky Way galaxy being a straight line, if you like, we're going up through it at 69,000 kilometres per hour, dragged by the Sun. If, incidentally, the Sun wasn't moving northward, we'd be sucked into it. All planets would last a very, very short period of time before they're burnt up. So that is why the creation is that there's a movement back and forth of the Sun up through the Milky Way galaxy, and that's why we crossed over on the 11th of December in the year 2011, 11, and the moon flipped upside down. Anyone out there, go out in the middle of the moon, and it's all over the place. Sometimes it's upside down, sometimes sideways, sometimes... Well, this is like, if that's not a sign from heaven, I don't know what is. I mean, they're not talking about that either, right? Why don't they talk about it? Because they're all lying bastards. It's all controlled by the same... But they are lovely people, just the same as people. I've known one. It's nice. He was dead, but he looked good. Yeah, what was funeral? Here we go. So there's 4 lined up. So we go forward to 2015, and look where this is now, right? And then we'll go forward to, let it go around. There's another line up again. This is on my mother's birthday, and the date there is October the 11th, when these two line up again, right there. Right? So we're going to get out of that, and we're going to go forward now to, where are we? August. There's anyone else? August. We'll make it August 19. Oh no, that's, I don't know why. 2015. Right, we'll have a look at that. Plot driver view. Find a Jupiter. Relocate. And we got Jupiter right lined up with Regulus, right? And there's Venus there. So we'll just stagger down slowly, animated 0.01, that'll probably do it. That's fast animation of 1 hour. We won't do the moon, so not the point. And so we've got, you watch what happens, they all line up again on the 24th of October. Right? So that's a very significant moment in time when on the 24th of October 2015 we're going to have a secondary, Star of Bethlehem. Now if we take off the 10 days that Pope Gregory added, it is actually going back to the 14th, which is the time when he changed time. Right? So the 4th become the 15th, the next day. He added 10 days. This is on October the 4th in 1582. Pope Gregory himself was born on January the 1st. So he punched his date of birth forward to when? Hello? The 11th of January. And that gentleman on jury arm will recognise this. Alright, you see what's happening? So we'll just continue a little bit for that. Let it go. And we're going up now into January, we're just past January the 11th. Anyhow, that's what happens in space. That is why you see a retrograde motion here coming back and forwards on January the 11th. Now we've got a year passing, and then it all line up again. This time it's the secondary again. Jupiter and Venus lines up with Mercury. Right? So there you go. Keeps on happening. Lines up again. My mother's birthday, 2016. So we'll say goodbye.
I thought we'd go out with you singing Blue Hawaii. Made mention of Elvis earlier. All right, guys. Okay, well, I've got it ready on the deck. Thanks again for joining us, boys. Here goes Ya Blue Hawaii.
This is the one I've waited for. You can hear sweet voices sing. Soon bells will be ringing, and this is the moment of sweet love. I will love you longer than forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. Now that we are one, our hearts can find the sun. For blue stars on Hawaii smile, are listening day. I do love you.
The Go Lightly Martial Hour.
Where have you been? Mark was coming to the show over. Oh, it's the end of church. You missed it. For that you have to pay a penance.
3 Hail Marys and a couple of $100 to PayPal. And, well, what they call it, an excursion, wasn't it?
No. An indulgence.
Oh, that's it.
Indulgence or yeah. So what were the ones to get people out of purgatory? The holding cell. That was a special offering, was it? To people's souls being held in purgatory.
Well, as I'm still in it, I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. And so
purgatory was when you died.
you don't.
Isn't
it about
before the age of 7 or something like that?
No, it wasn't purgatory about. It was a holding place for souls.
If you're not baptised.
Oh, if you're not baptised.
I think that's how it works. If you died without being baptised, you went to purgatory.
Oh, I see. Until somebody paid the money to get you out.
Well, I'm not sure about it.
No. Anyway.
Damn good idea, though. Just give their PayPal address, get someone a bit doubtful, and you got a couple of. Hey, actually, the Mormons do that. They baptise the dead.
Really?
Yes. That's what the genealogy is all about. That's why they got onto me when I went and seen them, right?
Yes.
They had mine. And, oh shit, a Golightly. They wrote a book on the Golightly.
Yes.
I'd like to get someone to get hold of that book. But the Golightly, because they call themselves the God makers.
Yes, they do.
So they create God. Not the other way around. It's not a bad idea, really.
Now,
takes a bit of the emphasis off the old.
Because you were in the USA, and didn't you go to them when you?
I went to every, like driving up through the USA from El Paso.
Yes.
I called in and made phone calls every time we made a stop or stayed in a motel. I called the Latter-day Saints Church, Mormons. Not one answer of a phone. So I thought that's angelic.
And the book Golightly has disappeared.
The book Golightly has disappeared. And also when I went to the Mormons where they had the big needle, with the...
Yes, in Utah.
Right outside the temple it is, you've got a camel going through. And I checked out on the Marshals and the Golightly's out of their fantastic database, all on CD. Gone. Marshals are gone and the CD is gone for that. And the Golightly CD got all names in it except Golightly and said Marshall. Right. Like, hello, how many Marshalls would there be in America? Like, it's a very famous name.
Yes. There's
not too many Golightleys, but no Marshalls in the LDS, isn't it?
LDS, yeah. Latter-day Saints.
In Mormon City.
Mormon City, Utah.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, all right. Okay. Hey, we're coming up to 77 minutes. Oh, we can't get to 70 seconds, can we?
Oh, I just did. Yeah, no, all right.
That's all right.
We'll just lie about it. Like everybody else does. Who cares? No one believes me anyhow, right? So I might as well tell lies. Might be they'll believe it. Think of that.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your cross, your crucifixion.
I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, totally. All right, we're really going now. Goodbye. Thank you, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow.